Hello, everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. I am going to go over a talk about between the volume between Kraken and Binance. So let's get to that. Before I get started, I want to show you a couple things. Um, Mostly, if you're into this stuff, just come over to quantlabs.net, get a couple of books for free, and then from there we can get you on the daily newsletter. All right, so and don't forget about our chat group as well on WhatsApp. Just click on the plus sign, you'll see the link there at quantlabs.net. So as I said, somebody was asking. I think a lot of people are in the same situation. I'm gonna give you my view on it. I think the last couple of weeks has been a struggle. I just put up a video here, if I could find it here. Um, Crypto trading bot beat out S&P by 5% this week. The bot has had a couple of struggles this week, but we're getting them addressed. You could find more in that video. But with this guy, this is what he was saying. I finally decided to join your list. Do you still offer to connect to algo trading signal service? Yes, I do. That's part of the quant analytics. You could find that here under quantlabs.net/quant analytics. So you can get more information there. If I can get that set up properly. There we go. So that's a monthly service that we could synchronize trades with this bot that's been performing just alone today. It's already hit 1.18% for the day, and everything's pretty tight. Anyways, let's go back to this guy's question. My arbitrage system sucks ass for the last 2 weeks due to low trading volume in most crypto exchanges. That's true. I've been noticing this tiny moves on a lot of coins out there. Some that are doing well. One of them I call Friday was FTM, and my bot picked that up today and made that 1.18%. So Kraken exchange volume went from 400 million on a busy day 2 weeks ago to 250 million. Now, let's take a look at that. Namely, this is CoinMarketCap in .com in the derivatives market. Binance number one, 2.6 billion. BitMEX at 1.1. This other one, Bybit, blah blah blah, ZBG. So here is Kraken, 433 million. So you can get affected if it drops below that. If you are in anywhere but the U.S., you right now I'm just going to say you might want to be with Binance. I'm going to talk about Binance. This is Binance.com out of Asia. I'm going to talk about that, what I'm seeing. I mentioned this in the webinar last week on Monday. So that's the dilemma. Now, also, I should show that in the spot market as well. So in the spot market, what's been going on is Binance is number one, and go figure, Binance owns CoinMarketCap. So what do you think is going to happen? So here's the volume, 5.3 billion. Coinbase at 350, Kraken at 599. So Kraken's still up there fairly significantly. So with that in mind, I'm not a trading expert yet, but that volume has definitely impact on volatility and creating our opportunities as I'm trying to figure out. I took out some of the financial stuff that goal this guy's trying to do. I figured that if I could try out a signal service that could pump my trading volume, and as soon as I get trading fee discounts, I can expect that my arbitrage would have an easier time to compete with others. Okay, a couple of things here. Binance is the lowest commission that you'll get, 0.1% starting out with Binance. So that's a big plus for Binance for arbitrage, because when you start looking at Coinbase, they're at I think 1 point or 0.15. Plus, they just announced last week they're going to start adding more fees on these gas network things, whatever that is. I got to still look that up. So much being changed around in the crypto space, but just put it this way: Coinbase is adding new fees. You could still maybe get around Kraken, For those in the U.S., Kraken and Coinbase are your only two options, unless you go with Binance US, but then there's no volume there. So those are the options that you have. Kraken had some advantages now. Like last week, they turned into a bank out of Wyoming. They also have some DeFi coins out there, some decent ones that perform relatively okay. None of these crazy ones that Binance has added. Talked about that in my webinar last week as well. I figured that if I could try out a signal service, I could pump. Okay, so let me just address this. So fees are a big part of it. Commission fee. So yeah, Binance is fairly low. I expect my arbitrage to have easier time to compete with others. I think arbitrage is a tough game in the world of crypto. If you got something that works, great. But obviously, when things don't work out, your bot won't work out. And that's what I found for the last few years, that you got to find ways to build strategies or bots that are not dependent upon volume and volatility. It's more a simplistic math things. They're just on pure price. I'm looking at integrating Binance, but much bigger exchange and lower fees than Kraken. Okay, so I talked about that. Yeah, but you can see that through the data here on Binance versus Kraken and other exchanges. From my point of view, as I said, in a nutshell, Binance is going to be questioned. For those who don't know, I'm in Ontario, Canada. BitMEX has been banned from us in Ontario. So if we go back to the derivatives market, because of that, that has somewhat of an impact. Now, my question is, if they're going to ban BitMEX, what's stopping them from banning Binance or any of these other exchanges? When you look at the overall volume on a good day, as I said, it was over 5 billion for Binance on spot. Now you're looking at 2.7 in the derivatives market. It tells you that the banks have got to be getting kind of spooked as an industry, especially like in Canada or UK or whatnot. So that means that Binance may get drastically altered, where Binance may need to pull out because they're stomping on the bank's feet. But the real distinction is this new Binance debit Visa card that they have, and that's really going to throw off the banks, because now people have the ability to transact, store a value in the exchange, and be able to transact with a Visa debit card off of their own account. They're getting into loans, they're getting into savings, they're acting like a bank in a lot of these countries. So banks won't tolerate it, they'll lobby, and then they'll get the federal government or whatnot to alter the rules for Binance, because to protect the industry and to protect the consumer. Bullshit. Anyways, that's what could happen. And if they do that, that means then Binance will be changed from that to where they are with Binance US, which means, again, there's no volume. So that gets rid of Binance as the threat. That's concern number one. Concern number two I have with Binance right now is all of these crazy staking projects that they're taking on, these DeFi projects. Well, a few of them, like Sushi, has turned into a fraud. Sushi being they accepted Sushi on the exchange for Binance, and let alone what happens. They build it up. The owner, the founder of Sushi decides to pull out $12 million. A lot of people that got onto that coin got burnt because the price fell, and they lost a lot of money, and they weren't happy about it. And they're not happy because Binance still defended this guy Sushi. And there's other questionable projects as well. So the primary competitor of Binance, OKX, slammed the CEO CZ at Binance. So that's another big concern I have with all these weird things that Binance is trying to get into, like the staking and all that. I think it's just all hooey, because they're bringing in a lot of suckers thinking they're going to get money returns that are not going to be there, and they're going to get burnt. And the ones that do well with it are Binance, because they collect maybe fees and other things as well. And there's really no protection to the consumer that up until now, up until a couple of weeks ago that trusted Binance. So now they're getting burnt. So they're getting pissed off at this company, Binance. And as a result, what's happening is Binance now has some credibility problems. And I went to one of the powers to be for me. What about OKX? Would they go with OKX? Because OKX is probably the next closest competitor to them. And the answer is no, they're not to be trusted. I did verify that OKX does have a support office close to me, 2 hours away in I think it's Waterloo, Ontario. And that shows that OKX has a pretty significant presence in Canada. And they're not going to monkey around with the regulation there and do these crazy things that Binance is doing. So OKX, I don't know. So there's that. And then for the Americans out there, the ones that they should consider, and I've talked about this before, is Kraken and Coinbase. Kraken, like I said this week, has brought in, um, acting like a bank. That's where Binance is now at. Kraken also brought in some decent DeFi coins. They may not have the volume, and I've tried Kraken. I've had some execution problems with Kraken. I'm hoping that's all worked out. But for now, if I was an American or somebody who wanted to go with a more trusted, regulated exchange, I'd probably look at Kraken. Coinbase, they don't have the coin selection that Kraken has. And Coinbase, as I said, is expensive. Commission fees and just other nonsense fees that just don't make sense to me. So that's my advice for anybody out there. Now, going back to this guy, Binance is the one right now, minus what I just said about things to be on the lookout for over the next couple of months, being in North America, let's say, or specifically Canada or the West, like Britain. So it's going to be interesting to see how Binance plays out. I've always told people don't put your life savings into any of these exchanges because of the potential scams that can be pulled off. And it's one thing when you start with a couple thousand, you build it up to 50 or 100K, you have nothing to lose there because you probably already taken out your principal to get the account started, and after everything from there on is just pure profit. So just be aware of all this stuff. But yeah, volume is a concern. Volatility is a concern. The markets are very tight right now. I'm able to find the trends with my kind of bot. So I'm hoping you watched that other video I highlighted, namely this one here. Crypto trading bot beat out S&P by 5%, and some other ones as well. So you know, keep your eyes out on these videos. I put them out for a reason, and if not, just keep your eyes out on the chat group as well with the WhatsApp. Other than that, thanks for watching. Hope you have a good day. Later.